All right, guys, welcome back to the Atlantic Strong podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Dickens, and tonight I've got Evan Aucoin and Kyle Mahoney from Newfoundland on to talk about what's going on in strength sports coming up in Newfoundland, Labrador. Good evening, guys.
How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
Not bad, not bad.
Pretty good. Thanks for having us on.
Well, thanks for reaching out. I know you guys have a few competitions coming up for strongman and powerlifting, so.
Yeah, for sure.
But, we've the last couple of years we've really been trying to build the sport of strongman here in Newfoundland. It's fairly young here still. There was a bit of a strongman movement a long time ago in some central parts of Newfoundland, and now really trying to get it going here as a legitimate strength sport. Powerlifting's been pretty popular here the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So just trying to get strongman as more of a prominent sort of a choice here, I guess, for strength sports. So we've put off a handful of competitions the last couple of years, and now we recently formed a committee to sort of oversee record keeping and contest organization, that kind of stuff here in the province. And myself and Kyle are both members. And so we have our first official contest under that banner coming up this coming Saturday.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So before we get into the contest, let's get to know you guys a little bit first and how you got into strength sports.
Sure. Yeah. I guess I'll start if you don't mind. Yeah. So I've been I'm fairly new to strength sports. This is my I think third or fourth year now as a strength athlete. We'll say. I was about 4 or 5 years ago. I was about 420 pounds, and was leading a very unhealthy lifestyle, and had found was trying to do something to sort of jumpstart my fitness and my health, and had started like walking and eating and doing meal prep and that kind of stuff, and got into powerlifting in a local club here. I was at that for a while. I was working with a couple of coaches there. I lost. My lightest, I was about 221, and I was competing as a 105 kilo powerlifter. And then about a little over a year ago now, I met Kyle and got into the strongman side of things, and gained some weight back there, but in a good way, and have been at it ever since. So I'm the president of our records committee, we'll say, for strongman here in Newfoundland, and have ever since I started off. I think I was 6 weeks in and did my first contest. Literally a month after my last powerlifting contest, and have been pretty much a full-time strongman ever since.
And what about you, Kyle?
Me myself, man. It's a very similar story. I wasn't quite as big as Evan. I was overweight. I was leading an unhealthy lifestyle. I was doing a lot of partying, and I just decided to have a lifestyle change. So I put down the bottle. Stopped drinking, and I stopped drinking about 6 years ago, and then I just turned to strength sports, turned to the gym, and I started training strongman alone in my mother's driveway. Moved to St. John's, it's the capital of Newfoundland, and when I moved to the city, I got in contact with a local gym. They asked me to start coaching classes there because they had previously had classes, and they were looking for a coach, and the rest is history, man.
Right on.
Yeah.
So this Saturday coming up, September 12th, is Newfoundland's Strongest Man.
Newfoundland's Strongest Man, Newfoundland's Strongest Woman. Yeah, we have
and novice.
And a novice as well. This is actually our first contest to feature a novice as well as, we'll say, amateur category as well. So we've got NL Strongest Man, Strongest Woman. We've got a bunch of novice athletes that are just kind of coming to.
We had a novice. Did we have a novice at that May show?
No.
Okay, yeah.
We just had it was a novice show.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah, we have a bunch of novice athletes that are coming out for their first time to give it a shot. We've got a middleweight and open female category, and just a middleweight or just an open female.
It's just open female and novice female.
So we've got three novice females. I think about 7 open females, and then we've got a big middleweight men's division and a good open men's division as well. So it should be a good contest.
And a novice men's division.
Novice men's division as well with a fair number. So we're this is looking just based on our registration numbers, our biggest contest we've hosted here to date. So we're super excited about that, and really happy that we've had so much uptake, especially on the novice side of things. We have a lot of return lifters, I guess we'll say, but it's nice to see a lot more people that are just brand new to it get into it, and hopefully by next year they'll all be up in the middleweight in the open. Sure.
Right on. So where are you guys going to have that? What are the events going to be?
So we've our local YMCA is allowing us to use their parking lot. So we're going to do a full outdoor contest. The weather, thankfully, because Newfoundland weather can be a bit spotty, especially this time of year. Thankfully, the weather is looking like it's going to be a beautiful day. So we're starting off with our first ever official Newfoundland record breaker event. So we've got the 18-inch deadlift set up.
Based off Static Monsters.
Based off the Static Monsters rules, yeah. So we'll have an 18-inch deadlift, 3 attempts per lifter, and heaviest weight we'll say wins, and then we're going to use the heaviest attempts in each weight class, successful attempts to sort of establish a baseline for 18-inch deadlift record in Newfoundland for strongman.
Cool.
From there, then we're moving into a circus dumbbell medley.
Yep, we've got 3 dumbbells. So we start with an 8-inch, a 10-inch, and then a 12-inch dumbbell for the men's weight classes, and for the female weight class, we have 3 loadable dumbbells as well, just probably a little bit smaller in diameter.
Yep. And so fastest time wins essentially for that one. A lot of the contest is actually based on speed. It's a cardio heavy and a moving heavy contest. From the dumbbells, then we actually were for the first time at a Newfoundland strongman competition. We're doing a power stairs event. So we built a massive set of stairs for it that hopefully will hold up. I think they will.
Yeah, they're about 10 feet wide and about 4 feet high. So there's only 3 steps, but we hope to in the future, have some heavier power stairs. This is our first time, so we try to gauge it accordingly. So in the future, hopefully, we'll have 3 steps, but we'll have it much heavier.
Yeah. So for this one here, we've got 3 power pins loaded, and then fastest time to the top per weight class will win that one. We've actually got a couple cool prizes too. For the dumbbell, we actually have a local welder who we commissioned to build a circus dumbbell for us, like a loadable 10-inch circus dumbbell. So we're giving that away to the best time in the dumbbell. And we've got a power pin we're giving away to the best time in the power steers.
Yep.
From there, we're moving into a head-to-head frame race. We got two deadly frames we got put together.
Yeah, we got 2 awesome frames. Yeah.
And so that one is 50 feet all out, fastest time wins. And to finish it off, we've got normally you finish off with stones, but we wanted to do something a little different. So we got a loading race, sandbag and a keg to load, and then a Husafell run at the end for distance or for speed.
Cool.
Yeah.
So going back to the power stairs, what kind of weights are you going to end up using for those?
For the open main, I believe it's 325, 345, 365.
Yeah, so it's a little light, but we the first time we'd ever done them, we didn't really know. Not that we didn't know, but we didn't really want to jump too heavy with the weights because it's such a foreign event to a lot of people here.
Yeah,
and the biggest thing with actually the biggest deciding factor was our power pins are only able to take, say, 8 45-pound plates. Okay. They're only high enough to take 8 45s. So that's what we're working with. So I think the heaviest we can load one effectively and properly would probably be 365, 370-ish.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have some larger ones made for the future. But yeah, should be good.
Cool.
Yeah.
And the frame race, what's the weight going to be on that? So
we actually have been going back and forth on that for a little while. We just our novice weights for our males is 500 pounds, females is 300. For our female open, it's 400. 400 for our female open. For our middleweight men, 575, and then 600 for the open.
650 for the open.
650 for the open males.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So solid weights for the frame.
Solid weights. Yeah.
See that one.
Yeah, they're good weights. Yeah.
Yeah. We at Atlantic Canada Strongest Man, we're gonna have a frame hold.
Yeah, 700 pounds.
700 pounds.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
That one's next month, isn't it?
Yeah, it's October 4th and in Dartmouth.
Are you going to be allowed to use straps for that one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So looking at it, is either going to be do it without straps and probably get times between 10 and 20 seconds, or do it with straps and get times between 60 and 90 seconds.
Sure.
Yeah.
They were going towards having longer times for that.
Yeah, man. Even with straps, 700 pounds is it's still gonna be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loaded up my farmer's handles last week with 355 a piece and did a couple sets of 10. It was tough.
Yeah, definitely. Do your farmers have neural?
No.
Oh, it makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The frames we have a bit of knurling on the handles, which hurts like hell, but it's a lot easier than trying to run with slippery handles.
That makes it nice too. You can load them up real heavy too.
Real heavy. Yeah.
So the Newfoundland Strongest on Saturday, is that going to be separate from the Static Monsters event coming up?
Completely, yeah.
Yeah, Static Monsters is in October. It's October 24th. That's a worldwide thing. So all those competitions are done on one day around the world. Well, 2 days. So we're October 24th and 25th.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at their website now. That's pretty cool that they're going to have all. So are you guys going to be able to live stream that?
We would hope. I would imagine we're going to be able to, because we're hosting Static Monsters at the gym. So with the Wi-Fi there, it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's exciting to be part of a competition that's so widely we'll say recognized and attended to. It's gonna be a good time. I know you got like everyone from your most basic strongman to Jerry Pritchett take part in that one, so that's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be. They usually do like an axle deadlift and an axle clean and press. Is that what's gonna be?
No, it's the log press comes first, and you get 3 attempts, powerlifting style.
Yeah.
And after the log, you get it's an 18-inch axle deadlift, well, roughly 18 inches. And it's you're allowed to use straps, you're allowed to use a suit. You get 3 attempts, and at the end of the contest, you get a total for your 2 lifts. So your 2 best lifts is your quote-unquote monster total.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then you submit that then, and you get a worldwide ranking from there.
Yeah. So top 10 in each weight class worldwide, I believe. Get invited to the World Championships, and that's hosted by correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's Chad Croft, who's the owner of Static Monsters.
I believe so.
Yeah, or the founder, we'll say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm just looking at their website, and it looks like just about anybody could host an event if they want.
Pretty much. As long as you're more than 4 hours away, a 4-hour drive away from another event.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, you're good to host one if there's not one within 4 hours.
Cool. Yeah, it looks like there's only 3 in Canada right now. Regina, you guys, and Thunder Bay.
Yeah.
We're pretty excited to be part of it. I must say, we've got a lot of people seem to be interested in even from like the local powerlifting community and that kind of stuff, because there's not a lot going on in powerlifting right now in Newfoundland. There's no competitions upcoming or anything like that, with like nationals and a lot of the regional competitions and that kind of stuff on hold. A lot of people aren't hosting local meets, so we've seen a handful of powerlifters crossing over the last little while, even if just temporary, to try to get some lifting in. But it's been fun to see.
Yeah, it's people are getting the itch to compete.
That's it, right?
Nova Scotia Powerlifting Association announced their CPU affiliate. They announced their provincials, and they were sold out of registration spots in a few hours.
Crazy.
COVID really helped strongman here, actually.
Yeah.
Because so many people, they didn't have access to ERX and calibrated plates and barbells. So there was a lot of people, just making do with what they had: tires, sandbags, axle bars. So then, of course, when the gyms opened back up, you had more people interested in strongman because they were training like strongmen and strong women during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't know, but I think, back in the, we'll call it the early days. I mean, we're only talking, early 2000s, mid 2000s. They used to have a couple bigger strongman shows in Newfoundland. If I remember, I want to say in Goose Bay, there was always one.
Yeah.
That was back in like the Atlantic Canada Strength Association or Strongman Association. They'd have a fairly big show in Goose Bay.
Yeah, there was a few guys from here who competed too. It was like Steve Wiseman, Steve Campbell, Brian George. Yeah, there was quite a few guys competed in strongman from Newfoundland back then. Before our time, of course, so I don't know them all. But they did do quite a few contests. I think the one in Goose Bay, I remember reading a little bit about. And I think the guys did some out in Central as well.
They did here in Central Newfoundland, sort of. There's a handful of contests, Grand Falls and areas like that were fairly heavy contests from what we've been told.
Yeah.
And powerlifting Newfoundland is pretty big, eh?
Oh, it's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple national, like CPU national champs from Newfoundland.
Yep.
Maria Hattie and
Yeah.
That's
one
awesome
of Canada's most decorated masters powerlifters, Tom Keane. He's from here. Steph Butticombe, who's a national and international multi-time champion.
Babette Meister,
Brian George, Vicky Taylor Hood, Jeff Butt.
Yeah, I've met Jeff Butt a couple times. He's pretty impressive.
He's a great lifter and a great guy too. He was our president of the NLPA, the Newfoundland IPF affiliate for quite some time.
Yeah. No, it's good to see that things are coming back around for everybody, and competitions are starting to pick back up. I mean, you guys have you're doing a competition on Saturday, Static Monsters on October 24th, 25th. The Picto Strongman Friendly is on Saturday as well.
Nice.
We're going to do it in the arena in Picto outside. Prime Strength is doing their Atlantic Canada's Strongest Man on October 4th with the novice classes on September 29th. Ahead of that.
That looks like a good contest too.
Yeah, we were looking at the events for a little while ago. It looks great.
Yeah, as far as I know right now, there's only 4 open men registered. So I'm hoping that they put a deadline on registration. I'm hoping that since they put the deadline in, some of the guys will get into gear and register.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it's not going to go the same way as Atlantic's usually goes, 2-day competition. So it's a 1-day competition, 5 events, but I think it's going to be good. And then Renfrew's hosting WPC, I think WPC powerlifting competition, and Nova Scotia Powerlifting Association's hosting a CPU competition. So there's going to be 6 or 7 events in the last quarter of the year.
We're already talking about our next contest too, either sometime before or sometime after Christmas, having either like a record breaker style event or having a full contest, one or the other.
Yeah,
I've been batting around the idea with the guy that owns the gym I go to of putting on like a static monsters type event, either with like an 18-inch deadlift and a log clean and press, or I'd like to do just a Saguenay in Quebec, they always do one in February or March that's just axle clean and press and axle deadlift, and they run it like a powerlifting competition, and that looks like a good time, and some big numbers come out of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we were talking about doing one. I don't know if you remember this a while back, like just like 3 events: a pull, a press, and a stone.
Yeah. Like in a small in-house contest.
Yeah, I think we need to cultivate some more of these smaller contests, so there's not just 1 or 2 a year that are big and heavy. And I talked to Mark McManus last week about having more gyms and more groups wanting to organize and put on shows instead of just the same people doing shows over and over. The Halifax area, they've got 3 gyms that are willing to promote and put on strongman shows.
Nice.
New Brunswick right now, for powerlifting, it's starting to grow a little bit. There's actually, for the first time, there's actually a powerlifting focused gym in St. John. So I'm hoping that they'll be possibly putting on powerlifting competitions there. And they've been doing competitions in Moncton for the past couple of years. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to watch things grow since I started getting involved in 2017.
Right.
I'm hoping more people reach out to the show and want to talk about
Yeah,
what's
definitely.
going on.
Definitely. Yeah. We're excited to see where it grows here in Newfoundland. I know 2 contests ago we had the owner of a local gym, local CrossFit gym, who actually competed in our middleweight class or lightweight class.
Yeah.
And he since then he's expressed interest in hosting the contest at his gym. He's got a big open space where they do CrossFit and that kind of stuff. And even a couple of his CrossFitters and some of the Olympic lifters that train there are competing in this contest coming up.
Awesome.
So it's been cool to see it sort of transition over, and you see people realizing that, like, regardless of what kind of strength sport, whether it's weightlifting or powerlifting or whatever it is you're training, there's aspects of it that can translate over to strongman. It's just a matter of training the implements and getting used to the motions.
Every single strength sport transfers over to strongman, man. Everything.
Yeah.
And it's so much more fun.
It is. It's versatile, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I love powerlifting. I've done 4 or 5 powerlifting contests, but they're not as fun as strongman.
Completely, yeah. And like I've done a couple of I enjoyed powerlifting while I was doing it and that kind of stuff. And it's not to say I won't ever do a powerlifting competition or anything like that. But it's just, since I've been at strongman, it's just the functional strength aspect of it and the variance in the events and that kind of stuff, and how every week and every day there's still events I think I haven't trained, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it's such a constant evolution and learning with the sport that it's the kind of sport that you grow with it and it grows with you, kind of thing. It's fantastic.
I'm biased towards strongman because I've never competed powerlifting. So
yeah.
Well, you'll get into a slump where there's no strongman competitions coming up, and there might be a powerlifting competition come up.
No, we'll just host one.
Yeah, that's why we started the committee.
We'll just host one.
Yeah, we're the ones that put out the contest.
We're going to try to do 6 contests a year.
Yeah. Everything from full-on productions like Newfoundland Strongest to smaller in-house and 1 or 2 event record breakers and that kind of stuff.
We should be able to do, just with the committee alone, at least 3 to 4 a year.
Yeah.
That's not counting Static Monsters. That falls under its own. So we're hoping to have 5 to 6 strongman, strongwoman contests in Newfoundland every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see more. I'd like to see more contests everywhere. Even if there's 2, 3, 4 event contests.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a full day, 5 events, 6 events. Big weights. It can be small. Like Pictou on Saturday is only going to be 3 events.
Yeah, I saw that. What events are they again?
So it's a farmer's walk for max distance.
Nice.
And they always get somebody do some ridiculous distance, like 400 or 500 feet.
What's the weight?
So I think men's is 210 a hand, and women's is 110 a hand. And
210 a hand for max distance is going to get tiring.
That's
quick.
intense.
Yeah. I know in the past they've had guys go over 400 feet.
Yeah, man, it's going to test your grip.
Crazy.
And then they're doing an axle deadlift for reps.
Yeah.
Nice.
So for men, I think it's going to be 500 for heavyweight men and 400 for light or middleweight men. And then I want to say 300 for the women, maybe less. And then a load and medley with a 190-pound keg.
Yeah.
A 213-pound field stone.
Nice.
And they've built an 8 or a 10 by 12 pine beam that's going to weigh 215.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. That's a cool contest.
If you could send us pictures of that pine beam so we can also make one.
We make everything here.
Yeah, 90% of what's being used in this contest has been made locally.
Well, we don't make it, but we get people.
We got a couple guys that do. We're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in Pictou, they've got Danny Sutherland who will make them anything.
Yeah.
Once again, shout out to Danny Sutherland from Pictou County, Nova Scotia. You want custom strongman gear, he's your guy. But that's it. You need people willing to put in the time and source equipment. and
Yep.
want to lug stuff around all day, setting up
Exactly, man.
So, good luck to you guys on Saturday.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.
And good luck with the Static Monsters on October 24th, 25th. That's awesome. And I think we'll sign off for now.
Sounds good, man. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Take care, man.